morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lewis County Public Library and Archives. I am Miss Jaimee, and guess what? It is the week of Christmas! The big day is almost here. And today's story time, if you haven't noticed by my special guest, we are going to be having a story time about a book that takes place at Christmas. And this is one of my favorite stories. I'm so happy that you could all be here and join with me today. But first, let's sing our morning song. So let's get our hands shaken out, and we're gonna sing The More We Get Together. Okay, are you ready? The more we get together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. The more we read together, the more we read together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your books are my books and my books are your books. The more we read together, the happier we'll be. Good job, good job. Well, today's story, if you haven't guessed by my little friend, is about the Nutcracker. We're going to be reading two different books about the Nutcracker, and one's going to be about the ballet and one's going to be telling the story of the Nutcracker. Now, if you've been coming to story time for a while, you will know that the Nutcracker is my favorite Christmas story. It has been my favorite Christmas story since I was a little girl. I absolutely adore it. I love the music, the dancing, the story itself, the Nutcracker versus the Mouse King, Clara's part, or Marie, depending on which story you read. I love the whole thing. I love everything about it. So, of course, even though our story times are digital, we had to include our Nutcracker Christmas. It's become an annual tradition with me. So, our first book is Nutcracker Noel by Kate and Jim McMullen. Noel dreamed of dancing in a real ballet. So, when Miss Olga was swept into the studio one day, saying that everybody was going to get a part in the Nutcracker, Noel believed her dream was coming true. After class, Miss Olga clapped for attention. This year, my assistant, Miss Crystal, will be the Snow Queen. Nikki and Parker will be mice. Elizabeth will be the marzipan doll, and Mia will be the gingerbread cookie doll. Miss Olga looked at her list. And Noel will be a tree. When she heard the news, Mia's mother smothered Mia with kisses. My little cookie doll, she exclaimed. Noel felt sick to her stomach. Look at her there. At the first rehearsal, Noel counted 7 other trees. Not one of them was smiling. Across the room, the mice and the dolls laughed and played tag, using the piano for bass. Noel scampered over and got into the game. When Miss Crystal asked for the dolls to sit, Noel sat right down. You're not a doll, Mia said loudly. Aren't you a tree? Said Miss Crystal. Nice try, said Parker as Noel trudged off. Miss Olga handed out wooden spoons. Pretend these are candles, she said. The trees shushed on tiptoe while Miss Olga counted 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Noel's feet began to hurt. Second to last tree, said Miss Olga. Stay with the counts. Meanwhile, Miss Crystal showed the dolls how to twirl. Mia twirled like a top. She whirled like a tornado. and fell down. Ah, well, Mia, my ankle! Mia's mother burst through the door. Precious cookykins, she cried. Noelle cut out of line. I'll take Mia's place. Mia hopped up. Don't worry, everybody. I'm all right. Parents, out, shouted Miss Olga. Second to last tree, back in line. After rehearsal, Noelle knocked on Miss Olga's dressing room door. Please, could you change me to a doll? You think I'm a magician, said Miss Olga. Ha! In my first ballet, I was a toadstool. No one who saw me has ever forgotten the way I fluttered my cap. All the way home, Noelle tried to imagine how it might feel to be green and prickly. At dinner, Noelle refused her chair. I am a tree, she said. Trees don't sit. I hope they eat their broccoli, said her mother. Noelle fell asleep that night listening to the tree music tape Miss Olga had given her. She dreamed she was in a deep forest. At rehearsals, Noelle held her trunk straight and stayed with the counts. I am a tree. I am a tree. I am a tree, she thought. My branches sway in the wind. She tried never to look over at Mia, who wouldn't stop twirling and whirling. The Saturday before Christmas, everyone reported to the theater. Dress rehearsal was at noon. At 8 o'clock, the curtain would go up for the opening night of the Nutcracker. Sorry, the stage door guard told Mia's mother. Performers only. Nikki and Parker were already in the costume room playing Go Fish in their mouse outfits. Noelle saw racks of doll dresses and soldier uniforms, but no tree suits anywhere. The guard appeared in the dressing room door. Anyone here named Mia? Me, squealed Mia. That's me! Trees, called Miss Olga. She led the way to a rack of glittering gowns. What are these? Said Noelle. 3 guesses. Hands up, honey. As Miss Olga slid on her costume, Noelle turned into a fir tree sprinkled with snow. Oh, look at that. How gorgeous that is. Dolls, called Miss Olga. Me first, cried Mia. She stepped into the cookie doll costume. Miss Olga zipped it up and put on the head. Wait a second. Mia's voice sounded far away. My mother won't even know it's me in here. That's showbiz, said Miss Olga. Dress rehearsal began. Parker knocked over a reindeer. The snow machine dumped out all the snow at once. The prince split his pants. The littlest soldier threw up. The worse the dress rehearsal, declared Miss Olga, the better the show. Noelle found Mia sitting in the backstage by herself. You are a gingerbread cookie, Noelle whispered. Believe it, and no one who sees you will ever forget your Christmas cookie dance. Dolls and mice, called Miss Olga. Places. Mia put on her cookie doll head. I am a cookie, came her faraway voice. From the wings, Noelle peeped at the dolls twirling and whirling. Mia danced deliciously. As the orchestra struck up the tree music, a mist rose from the forest floor, and the Snow Queen Crystal leaped onto the stage. Miss Olga handed Noelle her candle, and the second to last tree out into the forest, adding her light to the night. It wasn't exactly Noelle's dream come true. It was much better. The end. Now, how about we sing a Christmas song? Okay, let's sing Up on the Housetop. Up on the housetop, reindeer paws, out jumps good old Santa Claus. down through the chimney with lots of toys, all for the little ones' Christmas joys. Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Up on the housetop, click, 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 down through the chimney with old Saint Nick. First come the stockings in a row, filled with goodies top to toe. Then to the tree old Santa springs, to place the presents that he brings. Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Up on the housetop, click, 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 down through the chimney with old Saint Nick. Everything delivered from his sack, Santa has a cookie snack. Back to the reindeer and the sleigh, into the night they fly away. Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Up on the housetop, click, 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 down through the chimney with good Saint Nick. Good job, good job. Now, this next book, you have a couple of options. So, we're trying out a new feature on Facebook where we're premiering a video instead of being live. So you can choose whether to watch the story straight through, or if you've been to one of the Nutcracker story times I've done live in the past, you know that I like interspersing the story with little clips of the ballet that I found on the internet. So I'm including a number and then the title of the video in the subtitles of the book. So as I'm reading the story, there'll be little title pages that pop up under the story, and you'll be able to pause the movie and go down into the comments, hopefully, and click on the link with the corresponding number to see that part of the ballet, because I believe that this story is best experienced where you can see it on stage. It's a gorgeous ballet. The music is beautiful. The dancing is beautiful. It's some of the most difficult moves that you see. So you can either watch and pause and play the ballet and come back to the story and play it back and forth, or you can watch the story all the way through and then go through and watch the clips later, or find a version of the Nutcracker ballet where you can watch a stage production as well online somewhere. I absolutely love it. If you ever get a chance to see it performed live, I highly encourage you to do it. I've gotten to see it live a couple of times myself, and it's just, it's stunning. It's beautiful. I love it. I can't say enough good things about it. So, moving on to our book. The version we are reading today is The Nutcracker. This is by Patrick Reagan, illustrated by Natasha Kuracheva. Christmas Eve was finally here. At the grand home of the Stahlbaums, family and friends had gathered for a night of dancing and celebrating. Everyone was happy and excited, especially the two Stahlbaum children, Fritz and Clara. The children became even more excited when they spotted their godfather, Drosselmeyer. He was a brilliant toy maker, and every Christmas he gave the most wonderful, magical gifts. This year, he gave Fritz a troop of marching toy soldiers and presented Clara with a wooden Nutcracker doll. Clara loved the funny-looking Nutcracker, but Fritz grabbed the doll, saying, "Silly old thing!" He dropped it on the floor, breaking its jaw. "He's not silly," cried Clara. She picked him up, wrapped a ribbon around his head, and cradled him gently. "Don't worry," she whispered. "I'll take care of you." Soon the party was over, but Clara couldn't sleep. She was worried about her Nutcracker. As she crept downstairs to get him, the clock began to chime and everything in the room began to grow bigger. Soon, Clara was no bigger than the toys. From inside the clock, she heard strange scratching sounds. Suddenly, hundreds of mice scampered out of the clock. As they raced across the room, Clara's Nutcracker doll, Fitz's soldiers, and all the other toys sprang to life. "Charge!" shouted the Nutcracker, and the toys and the mice began to fight. Swords clanked and cannons fired. The Nutcracker faced the Mouse King, his sword ready. The toy army was small, and there were so many mice. Clara saw the Mouse King raise his sword at the Nutcracker. "No!" she shouted, throwing her slipper at him with all her might. He fell to the floor, and suddenly all was quiet. The fighting ended, and, like magic, the mice disappeared. At that very moment, the Nutcracker changed into a young prince. Taking Clara's hand, he said, "You saved my life. Let me show you my kingdom, the land of sweets." Suddenly, the house disappeared and they were flying through the snowy sky. They landed in a forest where snowflake fairies danced all around them. Clara and the prince flew on to the land of sweets. He told everyone about the battle and how Clara saved his life. A great celebration began with music and dancers from across the land. First, Russian dancers stomped their boots, clapped their hands, and jumped high in the air. Clara and the prince watched with wonder as a beautiful Arabian dancer gracefully swayed to the music, ringing tiny chimes on her fingers. Next, a group of Chinese dancers leapt from a giant teapot, twirling fans and umbrellas. Clara had never been so thrilled. It felt like a dream. Then, as fiery music began, Spanish dancers dressed in brown rushed to the stage. "This is the dance of chocolate," explained the prince. Next, a towering woman wearing a huge skirt appeared. "Watch this," whispered the prince. "She's Mother Ginger from France." 8 little puppets danced out from under her skirt. "And those are the Polichinelles," he added, laughing. The Waltz of the Flowers came next, and all the flower dancers of the kingdom twirled and whirled across the stage. The flowers then parted as the Sugar Plum Fairy and her knight performed the beautiful Pas de Deux, or a dance for two. As the crowd cheered, Clara sighed. "I wish I could stay here forever." But the dance ended, and it was time for Clara to return home. As they climbed aboard the prince's magical sleigh, he turned to her and said, "I'll never forget your kindness." The sleigh rose into the dawn sky. Clara looked back to see the crowd waving goodbye and the land of sweets fading into a misty light. Clara woke in her own home, cradling the Nutcracker doll in her arms. Everything looked just as it had before, but Clara knew it wasn't. She knew her Nutcracker prince was real, and they'd meet again someday in the land of sweets. "I'll always take care of you," she whispered to him. And she always did. The end. Okay, well, we hope that you all have a wonderful holiday and a very Merry Christmas. Just a reminder, we will be closed Christmas Eve and we'll be closed through the weekend. We'll reopen again on next Tuesday and we'll be back here with another story time. And we hope that you have a safe and a happy holiday season. We're going to sing 1 or 2 more songs and then that will be all from us. So let's sing We Wish You a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin, good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. That's all. So for today, goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, my friends. Merry Christmas. See you next time.